What are these reversals signaling to you? Dan, I'll start off with you because you raised some of these issues during our call.
Yeah, I did. And I'll just say this as our chief salad correspondent here. I think it's the kava and the sweet gene. Yeah, no. I think it's the kava and the sweet gene, which were really interesting to me today. They're both up more than 200%, as you said, and they reversed like 13% off of a high, closing down that much. You know, if you have big gainers like this and you're getting to this point of the year after the sort of gains that we had across the board, and you're willing to actually take profits and pay taxes this year, it says something about some of the gains. It says something about where investors, at least in the growth trade, are starting to focus in next year. You know, the one that really stuck out to me, forget the tech stuff, it was Apollo. You know, we started the day, it was announced that they and Workday are going into the S&P 500. You'll see this rush by indexers. They go and they buy these stocks. It gapped up, you know, and then the fact that it reversed and closed down in the day from an all-time high. This is a stock that's up 85%. The idea that, listen, this is a great company. You know what I mean? This is like the Goldman Sachs of private equity, that sort of thing. Everybody wants to be them. But the fact that it reversed, closed on the low like that, it is saying something to me about investor appetite.
Yeah, look, Palantir is the one, and it's a time of season. That acronym, I did it right that time. Right?
Yes, it will be coming in January.
If you recall, a few years ago, mine was the Hope trade, and P was Palantir in the Hope trade, and it didn't work out particularly well, but now it's starting to flex its muscles a little bit. But with today, at one point, at its all-time high, this was a company that was trading about $175 billion of market cap on top of about $3.5 billion of revenue for next year. I can do the math. It's about 50 times revenue. It's obscene, the valuations that it's trading at. But the reversal today on more than 2 times normal volume cannot be ignored. It's reminiscent of what we saw with NVIDIA in March and again in June. And I think this potentially can sift its way into the broader market, Melms.
Back to Apollo, that was also on heavy volume. And so technically, is that
that's
important
the
to
key
you?
to it. And it's the precondition before an intraday reversal, which is extreme strength that seems almost unrealistic, almost unbelievable. And then at some point, no one can know what day, what particular hour, you get what is known as a reversal, which is an intraday event that actually not only undermines the previous strength, but calls into question all of the preceding days and weeks that maybe is an over. So think about anything let's think about horse racing, right? If you go out too fast, there are people who spend a lot of money gambling on horses. If the horse comes out too fast, it's too fast on the first or second turn, like it's over. Because they've expended too much energy. That horse ends up fading and going to the back. These stocks are just all so loved, right? They're all the most popular, the most inflows. And that's usually when it's right to start to question, is there anything more? And it's not random that they all did the same thing.
Is there anything more in your view, Courtney? I mean, seeing this group of stocks sort of staged, not key reversals, all of them, but some of them.
You know, what I see when I look at this is investors clearly are actually those animal spirits we've talked about, like coming after the election. I don't think they're fully unleashed because you are starting to see some profit taking right now. When you look at cash levels, people are continuing to dump money into cash right now. Those levels are like $6.7 trillion is in money markets right now, which is showing that people still are just not ready to put everything to work. So I think some of this profit taking is perfectly normal, but I would say there's probably more room for the upside here because you're not seeing that euphoria and people just throwing their money at things. Yes, that risk appetite is on. That people aren't, off to the races yet. I think that's probably going to continue to go here.